to you, Mzansi. Today we welcome Dr Duduzile Ndwandwe, a senior scientist with expertise in vaccines. She will be showing some insights on what vaccines are, and she will also be explaining to us the process involved in vaccine development. More than 800,000 people have died due to the coronavirus since the first case was reported on the 31st of December in 2019. Since then, vaccine developers have been racing to develop a vaccine as a strategy to prevent more people from being infected with the coronavirus. My name is Annelisa Jaka, and this is your second installment of Medcar Insight, where we are unlocking Medcar research. Now, we've all heard that teamwork makes the dream work, and so today we are joined by Dr. Duduzile Ndwandwe. Welcome to the show, Doc.
Thank you very much for the invite. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Dr. Ndwandwe, tell us about your career milestones. What is it that you do?
I am a trained researcher. I had my PhD, but then over the years I've been doing work on vaccine.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you are really a specialist in vaccines.
I would like to call myself that, but let's leave it to the public to decide.
Okay, thank you for joining us again. Did you guys know that the very first vaccine to be developed was for smallpox? Yes, vaccines have prevented and successfully wiped off diseases like smallpox, polio, and measles. So how vaccines work is that they train the body to recognize or identify infections caused by viruses or bacteria. So that is how our bodies would then be prevented from having diseases. Dr. Ndwandwe, before you can engage us on what vaccines are and all the process involved in developing vaccines, you know, we tend to confuse these two terms like vaccines and vaccination. Please tell us, what is the difference between a vaccine and a vaccination?
That a vaccine trains the body to recognize, infections.
Okay.
So a vaccine, it's what recognizes the body. I mean, the body recognizes so that it can fight infections. That's a vaccine.
Sure.
Vaccination, it's actually a process of getting the injection, of getting the vaccine. So those are the differences between the two.
Injecting.
Exactly.
So the process of injecting is vaccination. So
Yes.
tell us, how are vaccines made?
Okay, so there's many ways of making a vaccine. They are done particularly in the lab. So scientists would look at how, take a piece of the virus itself and package it nicely, put it nicely so that it can be injected in a vaccine form. But take the whole virus, but make sure that the virus does not cause the disease. And the reason for that is that you need the vaccine to activate the immune system. So meaning ke ngokwesiXhosa okanye ngokwesiZulu, ivusa amajoni omzimba. Should you have the infected with the actual virus,
Sure.
umzimba wakho would be able to recognize uba okay kanene, this is foreign to my body.
Sure.
I need to act quickly and fight the infection.
The body has been trained.
Yes, the body has been trained.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I think that's quite understandable enough. And I think you now understand the difference between vaccination and a vaccine. Let's take a look at a few headlines and just chew on them.
And we are joined by Professor Shabir Mahdi to talk to us. He's from Wits University and is part of that Oxford vaccine project, and there's a South African link to it all. So let's see. Prof, thank you for joining.
Talking about a vaccine that is currently being developed. So that is a COVID vaccine. Just to put perspective into what you've just explained. That vaccine is being developed in Oxford University, and South Africa is involved and is doing phase 2 trial. So, but I'm already seeing in that news headline that high-income countries are already purchasing or ordering billions and billions of doses. So how are we going to make sure even the low and middle income countries benefit from the vaccine? xa seyigqityiwe ke ngoku ukwenziwa by loo nto ke Oxford and all the other stakeholders involved, how are we going to make sure of that?
Okay, we're very fortunate because we've got an organization called Gavi.
Okay.
So Gavi has got partners like WHO and also the pharmaceutical companies that are developing. So they are able to make sure that they have a bulks of vaccine doses to ensure that there's equitable access to a vaccine. So when we say equitable access, it means wonke umuntu uzayifumana i-vaccine. Xa ngabe sesi-certified uba now a vaccine is ready, it's readily available. Meaning ke ngoku, you know, through that COVAX network, we'll be able, even nathi apha Africa, get a vaccine. You know, the same as those high income countries will be able to get a vaccine because COVID-19 is a global pandemic. It means that everyone must get the vaccine.
So are you saying that because there's this organization, it uthi COVAX, then abantu mabangabi na worry ukubana are we going to get a vaccine maybe in the low income countries because COVAX, we've got our backs covered?
We've got our backs covered. WHO working with Gavi and other stakeholders, they are looking at that to make sure ubana we have a vaccine. There's equitable access to a vaccine.
Okay, thank you so much. And the second link there, you know, to the news headlines, it speaks about efficacy. So what are the processes, what are the phases involved in, you know, making sure the vaccine is okay to give to people? Because from what you've just said, I personally understand, and I hope you also understand that, you know, when you've developed a vaccine, you know, you need to, you know, there's just more work to be done. So it is not just a matter of developing a vaccine and giving it to people. Please explain to us about these phases and, you know, the importance of having to go through zonke as phases or stages.
Okay. All right. So we've touched a little bit about yenziwa kanjani in the lab.
Okay.
But there's also stages where kufuneka siyitestile le nto esiyenzayo elab uba iyasebenza nyani uyayibona. So into yokuqala sizayitesta noba kwimpuku, for example, uba iyakwazi na ukuvusa amajoni omzimba. That's one.
Yes.
Then number two, sikhawuleze ke ngoku siyoyitesta kwi-monkeys because i-monkeys, they have similar immune system like us.
Sure.
Before and we want to see uba iyasebenza nakhona. Asinawuvele nje siyithathe sithi hayi siyenzile lab and then that's it and we give to people. No, it doesn't work that way. And after ke ngoku sesiyenzile kwimfene, for example, it still has to be approved uba singayisa na ebantwini. So there's these bodies, abantu that are responsible to make sure that whatever that is taken to ebantwini, it's ethical and it's regulated in a way. Asinawuvele nje ndisuke lab yami ndithathe into endiyenzayo ndifake emntwini. No, I have to get approvals throughout the process. Uyaqonda? Then again ngoku xa ndifumana i-approval, then kuzawuba ne-stages, which is stage 1 up until stage 4.
Okay.
So stage 1 uzawujonga abantu abancinci, like few people.
Yeah.
Still ubanike le vaccine oyenze elab. And then ubone ke ngokuba is it safe?
Okay.
Iyasebenza na.
Yes.
Safety is very important xa kusenziwa i-vaccine because you don't want to jeopardize impilo zabantu. That's number 1. Then xa ngabe ke umuvela ku stage number 2 if it has worked to stage 1.
Okay.
Stage number 2, you're looking at also safety.
Yes.
You're also looking at the dosing.
Okay.
Ujonga uba xa ndinika mhlambe ndilinganisele icephe.
Okay.
Is it enough?
Will it be enough?
Would it
We
be
should
enough
have work.
to do the work
Okay.
emzimbeni womuntu?
Sure,
That's the second thing, right? But apho uzawujonga mhlambe about hundreds of people unyusa inani labantu.
Okay.
Then ke ngoku umuve ke ngoku uye ku stage 3. Stage 3 ujonga abantu in thousands, where now you're going to see uba is it efficacious? Le question ubonibuza yona, is it efficacious? Apho uzawunika another group
Please
Le
explain the
vaccine
word efficacious.
uzawunika abanye abantu i-vaccine, unika abanye abantu something that looks similar to the vaccine but ayiyo vaccine. But the purpose of that is that you want to compare ubana kwabeni banike i-vaccine compared to naba and banike something that is similar to the vaccine but is not a vaccine. Does it work? Because now you want to compare.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
That's when now you can determine i-efficacy yakho uba i-vaccine nyani iyasebenza. Mhlawumbe akunazinto ezinye mhlawumbe that are generated by umzimba womuntu that mhlawumbe umuntu akwazi ukulwa nesifo esithile. Uyayibona? It's truly because of the vaccine that you have given. So that's how we compare uba nyani iyasebenza. And after that sizawuqokelela yonke i-information sibuyele futhi kwaba bantu sithi jongani kula board benithetha ngayo sithi jongani ke ngoku we've done what we can siyitestile, it's working, we've got evidence, here's the evidence, bayijongisise kakuhle, it's safe and everything. Yonke into siyilandele na imigaqo. Then ke ngoku siya ku phase number 4. Phase number 4 is looking at post-licensure. So let drug now, ababantu, the bodies that we're talking about, they would approve the use of the vaccine.
But even after approval, you can't give it to people yet. Okay.
No, but in an emergency, then you can give abantu because you have proved to stage number 3 uba it works. So you can give a vaccine in a process called emergency use.
Sure.
Right? So uzau prioritize like health workers or people that are actually at high risk of getting infection while we are doing stage 4. Stage 4 it's uncontrolled, right? Uzayinika abantu ubone uba abantu behave njani ngale vaccine. That's still also looking at safety. You're looking at efficacy in the normal, under general conditions. We are gone. Before you can say now I can go sesiya vaccine sesiyaya wonke umuntu uyayifumana. So there's different stages.
So it is not as easy as going to the lab, developing the vaccines, all these animal studies. You guys, you know better. So you have to go through these stages, these processes before you can give it to people, and it needs to be stamped. It needs to be approved by a lab board. Okay, now we approve the vaccine. You can give it to people. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you understand. We will really love to hear from you. So sicela drop a comment using the comment section, to ask any questions regarding what vaccines are, regarding the different phases of a clinical trial. And like we've just said now, that we love to hear from you. Let's just look at what Twitter is saying about vaccines. Dr. Ndwandwe, I'm seeing interesting tweets here about vaccines. Maybe you can weigh in and tell me what you think or what you can say about these tweets. So the first one says, the fastest vaccine ever developed was the mumps vaccine, which took 4 years. Polio vaccine took 5 years. Just some perspective. We need to learn to abide by the COVID-19 prevention protocols properly. All of us, please, we need to learn to live with it for now. #new normal. What can you say about that tweet?
So that tweet is very important. I think the tweet is putting into perspective the process of developing a vaccine, right? And it also highlights the work that needs to go into developing a vaccine. But while we are waiting for the vaccine, we need to also sithatha uxanduva nathi singabantu. Let's adhere to protocols, which is very important. Hand washing, sanitizing, putting your mask, social distancing. Those are important things that we can do.
Waiting for the vaccine.
Yes.
So the second tweet says we need to work hard on COVID-19 management till the vaccine gets developed. I'm sort of like getting the same sentiments as, related to the previous tweet as well, that naye this person is saying, you know, njengoba sisalinde a vaccine, we must abide by the basic measures, you know, that will help us manage or even, you know, slow down the infection or even possibly end the pandemic while we are waiting for the COVID-19 vaccine. So the last tweet here it's very interesting. It just, you know, actually it's a attention. It says, in my mask the air is stale. It billows out when I exhale. Conversely though, when I breathe in, it cleaves itself around the chin. Strive on, boffins, please. In your sealed laboratories, find a vaccine. Find it quick, and in my arm, a needle stick.
That's really a nice tweet.
That's a beautiful one.
It's a beautiful one because it actually encourages both the scientists and also the public that sobabini we have a role to play, right?
Yes.
While the scientists are busy trying to find a vaccine,
Yes.
we also have to do something.
Yeah, we have to do our
Yes,
part.
let's do our
We have to do
part.
our part.
So that's what it's actually saying, and I think it motivates.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ndwandwe. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. You've heard it from the expert. As we're waiting, you know, for vaccines, I mean, vaccines get developed from time to time. So let's say, for an example now, I'll make an example with the COVID-19 vaccine. Let's just continue, you know, practicing the basic measures that will help us, you know, manage the spread of COVID-19. We've heard it from the expert. We just want to appreciate Dr. Ndwandwe for joining us, you know, explaining what vaccines are, explaining the different processes involved in vaccine development. That is all we have for your second dose of Medcar Insight, where we are unlocking Medcar research. Please feel free to ask any questions related to this topic today by using the comment section. Until next time, please stay safe, Mzansi. Cheers to you all.